That looks nice. See, when I'm making these paintings, I'm not really thinking about a certain type of outcome. I'm just thinking about the relationship of the last mark I put down with the one I'm about to put down. The last colour I put down with the colour I'm about to put down. I'm not thinking about, oh, I need this figure to look this way. It will just start to turn into what it needs to turn into. I think I am something that's channeling something else. That's what I am. I was on a run last night. Supposed to have run about 15 miles yesterday because that's what I'm scheduled to do, but I only managed about 13.1, which coincidentally is about which is that's a half marathon length. So I did a half marathon, which is a little bit less than I really wanted to do, but I did still push myself more than I wanted to because I was fast asleep before I went. Really, it was in the evening. It was in the evening because I was spending the day with my girlfriend, and I didn't want to cut that short just because I needed to go for a run. So I said, I'll just go for a run at night. It made it harder, but that gave me an opportunity to sort of be resistant to the powers of no, the powers of you can do it tomorrow. Because if I did that today, I'd still have to do my shoulder and tricep day, and it would push me back a day. It would make everything harder because I'd have to do sort of 2 workouts every day or whatever. It would just make everything a lot harder. It would slow down recovery. So these things need to be done when I say I'm going to do them. It's practicing that discipline that we say is what we really need is discipline rather than motivation. I really felt that last night because I wear no headphones or anything, so it's just me in the road, and it just feels very difficult, because you're like just in your head, you're thinking about everything that's gone on, and some of the things I've been going through recently have been quite hard to deal with. So they're just on my mind, and for some reason, the phrase unaliving has become popular, and for some reason I was thinking of that phrase for like a good 30 minutes. It just kept repeating in my head, and I was like, what the hell is this repeating in my head? Was it because I walked through a graveyard or something along my route, and also a big cross at the church, and I started thinking of Jesus on the cross screaming in pain, saying, I died for your sins. And I was like, oh no, okay. I was like, is this a sign, or is this just what happens when you don't listen to music and you start thinking too much and just thinking in a weird way? It was odd. And I really wanted to just like put some music on near the end to try and help me to go further, but I was like, no, don't do that. I want to be able to run without music. Plus, headphones I feel like fuck my ears up a little bit. I don't think Bluetooth is good. I don't think phones are good. All these different frequencies going through our fucking brains and shit. I don't know. It seems a bit dodge. It's a bit weird. I think a wired connection is better. I'd rather a wired connection. I like wired, although I do listen to using Bluetooth in my car. I do think wires are better. It's a shame that we've gone fully wireless, because what it means is we've just got all of these different things floating through the air, and what is all of this shit? You can't see it. Weird. Maybe that's what's going into this painting right now. This invisible force that surrounds us. All of this information is just going through us, going through the air all of the time, continuously, and we don't see it. We're affected by it. And I'm not talking about Bluetooth now. I'm just talking about the powers of nature, the powers of the universe going through us, all of these different frequencies and things and stuff, to be technical, just penetrating our minds. Isn't that weird? Like, how do we just start thinking of stuff randomly sometimes? Is it because it's our subconscious telling us something's up, or is it actually a higher power coming in through the forces of nature to try and tell us something is up? I don't know. Forces of nature? What does it even mean? The foggy wog. The bitch and the dog. 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 I don't know what's going on, but I like it. I don't know what's going on, but I like it. We are animals. We are animals. Oh, permanent yellow. Permanent yellow. Cadmium yellow pale. Colours. Not had my car for a couple of weeks. That was a kicker. Got it back now. Working again. It had a light come on, but it's absolutely fine, I think. Fingers crossed. I think it was just some contacts connected to a sensor or something that needed cleaning, or at least that's what my mechanic done. That's what he said he did, so that hopefully he'll save 300 quid from not having to change. Although not that he's fucking charging me. I keep telling him to send me an invoice so I can pay him, but he's not charging us. So he thinks he's doing right by my dad, because my dad and him used to hang out before he died and that. So now he thinks he's looking after us by not charging us or whatever. But I don't know if that's really fair, because he's working and we want to support him for him working. Like, if someone does a job, you want to pay them, right? I don't want to take advantage of people, because I don't want people to take advantage of me. You don't want people to take advantage. You've got to treat people right. You've got to treat people how you want to be treated. You shouldn't take advantage of people. So I'm going to pester him again to try and give him some money. It's something we should all be practicing, by the way, is to be nice. Like, if we catch ourselves being horrible because of the stresses that we face, we need to apologise. Because unless you're a psychopath, unless you're a narcissist, it's going to make you feel bad for being horrible. And you can go more into it and then just get defensive and stop talking to people. Or you can grow a pair and stop being a fucking knobhead and apologise and have a friend again who's lovely. No one's properly horrible, are they? Unless they are. But sometimes we put things onto people that aren't true. And I don't think that's very fair, to be honest with you. I don't think it's there. No. Oh, no. Oh, no. There'll have to be a bit of this or that. Some lovely colours in there. And what we should be doing as well is looking more, not at phones, but at stuff outside of that, outside. Sometimes I forget how beautiful the world is and I go outside and I'm just amazed at how beautiful it is. I don't forget to go outside. What the fuck is this? What am I even talking about? I don't know. You know, you put this on so you can listen to it while you're doing something else. Don't you? And you're like, this is what I'm saying. Well. Whatever. I've just got to do a painting. I tell you what I've been struggling with recently is an addiction. I won't bring it up, but not to any substances or anything, but just a bit of something else, something to do with something else. I'm trying to stop it, so I've put some measures in place to help me stop it, and I've been recommended some books to help me deal with it, and one of the books is called The Art of Living, which is a book written based on, I think it's based on the writings of Epictetus, who was a Stoic back in the day. I think he was a slave, brought up as a slave. Don't know that much about him. I'm hoping that will help. But I really do think just practicing things like running and getting back into my routine and working out and that, which I've been doing every day consistently for like the whole of this year so far. Joined back at the gym now, which I'm really happy about. To be there again. I do think all of this stuff's going to help me quit something that's been affecting me since I was about 20 years, really, on and off. And I really do think I need to quit it, because I think it's starting to affect my relationships. So, yeah. Sometimes you got to look at yourself and you got to think, what's wrong with me? Why do I feel weird? And there might be something like a habit you got that you didn't even know you had, and then it slowly crept its way into your life, and you're like, oh, I got to stop this. It could be difficult. Maybe that's why I'm getting drawn into like the idea of religion, or the idea of some kind of higher power type of thing, because I need help with it, but I know I can help myself. But I'm not daft enough to think that I don't need help, or I shouldn't ask for help. I think that it's important. I think that actually it's a strength to ask for help and to realise that you might need it. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I think it's about 2 years or so since I brought that Man Up out. So I've been working on and off another publication. A publication that I think is going to be looking at the intersection of Stoicism and Transcendentalism. Not that I know much about Transcendentalism, but I want to have a look more at it, starting with Walden and nature, I think. They're kind of opposing philosophies in a way, but I am a sort of a contradiction of a man, because I am both very creative and into magical, sort of soulful shit, and then also I'm into very much logical, straightforward exercise, endurance, science-backed sort of ways of thinking. So I think I do pull from lots of different spheres of thinking. Spheres of thinking? Schools of thinking. And anyway, I think it's good to just look at lots of different sources, isn't it, when you're writing? Especially if you're writing about perspective, which is what I'm writing about, but also trying to give it some edge, some niche, some edge. There's not much writing about the similarities or I suppose, not similarities, where they sort of intertwine, those two philosophies. So I thought it'd be interesting to or at least touch on as I talk about perspective, which is something I can talk about in terms of both like the physical world, like the sort of tangible things, as in biology, things we can touch and feel and see, but then also diving a bit deeper into psychology and philosophy, and just saying, look, I mean, why do we see what we see, and how much is that is affected by the way that we think, and why do we think the way that we think? And I'm sure there's just lots of tangents I can go on and have been going on, and so yeah, and yeah, so I'm just trying to do that. Yeah, it's not really giving you much information there, but I'm not trying to. I've got to say something, haven't I? So the goal is here to build up so many different layers that it's quite nauseating and confusing. It's just like life. I think sometimes we take so much stuff on that we don't know what we are anymore. And I think I've come to that point, kind of. Almost like I don't know what I am sometimes. Am I this artist? Am I this athlete? Am I a writer? Am I a man who works in education? Not really. I do that, but that's like the job that I enjoy doing. It gives back. It gives me a bit of money in my pocket that I can use to pay bills and to buy art materials more and spend more time doing. It allows me to sort of stay within the industry because it's still within the arts. Whereas if I got a job, I don't know, some other kind of industry, then I think I'd be really upset because I wouldn't be able to teach or I wouldn't be able to be creative. So yeah. I don't know. What do we do when we run out of things to say? Well, Picasso would just say, inspiration has to find you working. So we've got to keep going, which is what I was doing on my run, which is what I'm doing now, which is why I like this type of painting, because it doesn't really require me to do anything other than just put colour on the canvas. I'm not really thinking about what I'm doing, it is just happening, which I think is the best kind of art. You know, I'll see something afterwards and then that'll be it. I am thinking about what I'm doing, but I'm also not thinking about what I'm doing, which is a sort of contradiction. But I think that's what life is. We do kind of automatically just do stuff without thinking. We do, and I suppose that's not good, but also is good at the same time. We are just full of we are walking contradictions, especially racists. Especially racist because of like blaming sort of people from other places to say, look, oh, these are awful criminals coming over here. Meanwhile, they're the ones that also are criminals as well. And I think, as the Bible says, We are all sinners. We are all born sinners. Well, we are. We all kind of are. None of us are perfect. We are imperfect. Nah, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being imperfect. I'm going in with some orange now. People are strange. When you're a stranger, people look ugly. When you're alone, women seem wicked. When you're unwanted, streets strange. Faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. People are Strange by The Doors. Good song. What is it about? A man coming to the realisation that the way he sees the world is shaped by his own way of thinking. People are strange. When you're a stranger, women seem wicked. When you're alone. When you're alone. When you're with someone, no, they're not wicked. Yeah, they're not wicked. They're wicked in a good way, not wicked in a bad way. But they're not wicked. No one owes you anything, do they? No one owes you anything. And we don't owe anyone anything either. But it's nice to be nice. But just because people work either time of day don't mean they're not nice. It just means they're on their way somewhere else. No one owes you anything. So if you're a bloke that thinks that women owe you something, you need to fucking deal with it. Deal with the fact that they fucking don't owe you anything. Your life's going to be better if you think that way. You know why? Because when you're chasing things that don't want you, people that don't want you, call women things, are not objects, are they? Or are they? Or are they? No, they're not. But when you're chasing people, you're not going to be happy. You're not going to be very happy, are you? So don't do it, you twat bag. You know? People are strange. When you're a stranger, women seem wicked. When you're alone. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain? Is that even the lyric, or am I just putting it on there? Faces come out of the rain when you're strange. What does that mean? Faces come out of the rain when you're strange. Seeing stuff that's not there. Why are you strange in the first place? People are strange. Faces come out of the rain when you're strange. What makes you strange? What is strange? What is normal? All these questions, should you even be thinking about them? Should you be thinking, am I strange? Or should you just be living your life? Of course you should. To all of those. It's good to question things. It's not good to ruminate, but it is good to be inquisitive. It is good to sort of think about these things, but not in a way that you're thinking about them all of the time. Faces come out of the rain when you're strange. Why? How? Who? What faces? of the people that we loved and that we miss, of the person that we want to be that we are no longer. Time. I want you to listen to songs, and I want you to break down the lyrics and try to understand what the artist is trying to say, or what thought is trying to provoke in you, so that you can maybe see the world the way that they see it. Oh, I'm really good at sentences tonight. The way that those races are. Because I think that's what we're doing as artists. We're sort of seeing something one way, and this is helping us to be more self-aware, this making of this work. But because we've discovered something within ourselves, we might think, oh, maybe this affects not just me, but more than me, everybody, the mind at large, which is what Aldous Huxley basically called the universe, or the universally shared consciousness that we're all a part of. And he said that he thinks that we need some kind of, or that we have some kind of mental limiter, like a funnel, that we feed all the information that we get from this universal shared consciousness through in order to be able to function in a normal way. What? Funnel information? What? What's going on? What am I even talking about? Whoa! I tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I wanna zigga 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 zigga. Now what does that mean? That's what I wanna know. What sort of thing were they trying to provoke within the popular consciousness? On the radio. On the radio. That was a silent fart. You can't smell it. Didgeridoo. Didgeridoo. I remember being told by a speech and language therapist when I was a teenager that even in Katie Price's autobiography, you'll be able to find a golden nugget of information. To always read the whole picture to be able to try and find that little golden nugget. Everyone's got something worth knowing. Everyone. Don't fob people off just because you think they're like lesser than, you know. A lot of people think that way about other people. They think, oh, what do they know? They're just this, they're just that. Well, no, they're not just that. They're not just this, are they? There are a multitude of lots of different things and experiences they've been through. Just like you, they've had to deal with people dying. They've had to deal with breakups. They've had to deal with losing their job, or losing a house, or bankruptcy, or finding new things about themselves out and creating wonderful new things. Having breakthroughs. We are all worthy of being listened to and trying to understand as many different points of view as we can. It's probably going to make us more well-rounded, or it might be confusing, I don't know, one or the other. I say is everyone's basically just as important as each other, aren't they, really? Stop fobbing people off. I think that's why a lot of people don't like certain types of feminism, because it can seem like it's quite closed and only for certain types of women, well-read women, maybe not the woman who cleans the loos. Surely that should be for her as well, so that she's paid more fairly. You know, it should be. I don't think it is. You sort of get these. I mean, it's just with everything, isn't it? Really, we just get people talking on behalf of other people. I'm not really into that. Am I doing it now? Am I guilty of it now for even putting my nose in? I don't think I am. I think I'd like to stick up for people that haven't been given a voice or have had it taken away from them. I think sometimes people do stuff for the wrong reason. They do it for clout. They do it to get ahead. They don't do it for the betterment of humanity. Brainwashing and such. What is it to become popular these days? To get lots of views and likes and hugs and kisses and smiles, but are they real? Or are they fake? What does it mean? What does it mean? Nah, I like the fuzzy. I like the fuzziness. You need the nuance. You need a blurry, mysterious, nuanced artwork, but you also need to be able to understand it. But that takes time. And it's nice to be able to unravel something like a gift. You know? Things that are too in your face, sometimes they're harder to see. People don't want to give stuff like that the time of day sometimes. When it's too in your face, they're like, that's a bit obvious. They don't even care. People see stuff and they walk straight past it. People are blindsided. People don't live in reality. They look away. They don't really look at the whole picture. They look at the little section they like. Oh, I like that bit over there. Oh, what about that bit? We don't talk about that bit over there. No, that bit doesn't really exist. No. See that's an autonomous zone. What? Some governments is. It's full of uncivilized people with provocative ways of thinking. What? But that's just an homeless man over there, covered in his own shit, asking for help. Oh, no, don't fucking, no. No. No, look over there. What? A meal deal. Don't buy a meal deal. No. Oh, look over, what's that? High interest loan. To buy some new shoes. Pay in 3 separate payments for a pizza. For a pair of trainers. They will make you just as sexy as that man on the television. Really? I've had these trainers for like almost 2 years now, and I'm thinking I need some new ones, but I'm in no rush to buy new ones, and I keep trying some on. And I went in a shop the other day, and the lady showed me all the trainers she had, and I said, I don't like them bits on them trainers, and she said, really? I like them. And I said, I don't really like them. I don't like those bits on them. I just want some normal plain trainers, and there doesn't seem to be any plain trainers. They're trying to tell me how to dress, tell me what I want, and I don't want them. I just want something that fits and that's going to last. and it looks alright with every outfit that I've got. A white pair of trainers, neutral. I'm thinking grey, but I don't want all these little bits, these stupid little bits. You know, these little bubbles and things on the bottoms of them. Like, why have they all got them? It's a load of rubber. It's all just a distraction, isn't it? Why am I getting annoyed at that? An homeless man on the street covered in his own shit. Don't look at that. Don't fucking look at that. Look over there. That part of the picture ain't very nice, mate. Look over there, you cunt! You cunt! No, you fuck off. Fuck off, you. You know what I mean? You know, so I've got to pay that bill now. Oh yeah, I'm thinking about that now. Tax due at the end of January. Do that, do this. Everyone's afraid they're not going to do it right, so they don't even start the business, and then they die regretting it. What about that man covered in shit over there? Don't look at him. He's a pedo. Is he fuck? Hey! Have we got any spare change? No. It's all on card these days. What? Perverts. But yeah, that's what perception is, isn't it? It's like only looking at a certain part of the picture that you quite like and not looking at the whole thing. But there might be something over there that actually has a little bit of knowledge, and I think that homeless man that's covered in shit might have a little bit more knowledge than that bloke over there in the shiny suit who's trying to sell homes to people who can't really afford them or whatever, or is telling the landlord to raise the rent on the property of the single mother who can't really afford it because she doesn't, work enough because she's got to look after a kid at the same time. I'm pretty sure that lad over there is covered in shit who's homeless has probably got more wisdom, something to say that might actually help you more than some fucking toff bag who's trying to raise your rent. I don't know. So, right, the market prices. What is the market? It doesn't even exist. It exists, but it doesn't exist. It's make believe. It's one of them things that isn't really a thing. It's artificially inflated by the lowering of supply on purpose by keeping, domestic living properties empty. There's lots of empty domestic properties, living spaces all around the UK, and that's not very good. They're not being rented out, and that means that there's less supply. But there'd be more supply if they weren't empty and they were being let out. But of course, then if we've got more supply than demand, then market rules would say that the prices should come down so that you're more competitive, so that more people want to live in your place because it's cheaper. But is that how it works? I think that's how it works, to be honest. We all want to pay as little as possible so that we can spend more of the money doing things that we actually want to do, which ain't pay rent. It's more like do this kind of thing, isn't it? Where we're painting pictures, and then we can look at the pictures and we can discover more things about ourselves and the world through observational drawings or just sort of internal observational paintings like this. It's almost like journaling. But the fact that we spend so much money on all of this shit that we don't really want to spend it on, this money that's created by these ruling classes that we have to earn and we have to spend, and we have to earn and we have to spend on things that really should just be basic rights: housing, healthcare, education, food. I mean, if we all worked our own little bit on all of those things, I fucking hate the idea of that. The idea of being given a job and you have to do that fucking job. Like, communism just seems disgusting. I don't want to do that. You got to do it! A bit of socialism. But just taxing people fairly and just having those things, just, doing everything properly. What the fuck am I even fucking saying? Housing just needs to be sorted out, doesn't it? There's people that own more than one house. And unless their relatives just died and they've, they need a little bit of time to get rid of it or to figure out what they're doing with it. But all these empty houses, it needs dealing with. Like, we need to get people in them. Because if we've got warm houses and we're not paying loads of rent, there needs to be rent caps as well. Because if people own properties and they're renting them out for a lot of money just so that they can gain from, taking away and then providing a basic right that everyone needs, if we all have more, then who's really got less if we all have more? So what if you can't fucking go on holiday 10 times a year to that person that's got more, just so that everyone else can have more? You're not really getting less. That's just your perspective, isn't it? I'd rather everyone have enough so that they can think clearly and get on well. I think that's what a healthy society looks like, I reckon. There's still going to be fucking weirdos and horrible murderers and everything, but yeah, I think like some things need to be socially grown and put towards, and other things can be competitive market driven things. Like the art market, it don't matter. Does it really? Who the fuck gives a shit about that? That's funny. But also, why do you get people paying millions of pounds for a banana taped to a wall? That's just basically something that really ultra rich people do as a status symbol these days, because obviously you can go and buy a Ferrari, but all your mates can go and buy a Ferrari. So what they're doing is just showing, I am so rich that I can spend £1 million on a banana, and it's not even for that specific banana, it's just this idea of banana being taped to a wall. I can spend that much money on that because I am so rich, I can do that. Instead of helping people, they're doing that to show that they can do that, to show that they have this disgusting amount of money they're not using to change the world in a positive way. They're just choosing to spend their money in ways that they can show off and probably write off a certain amount of tax so that they can, not help people even more by paying that. Not that all tax money is spent well, but I'm pretty sure if there was more public funding in all of these brilliant things that we do need, then everyone would be better off. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, there's all these different levels and all these things we don't see that are there, but they're not there at the same time. Because if we don't see them, are they there? I don't know. Fuzzy. Wuzzy. Fuzzy, wuzzy, wuzzy, wuzzy. Fuzzy, wuzzy. Sometimes paintings are just there to illustrate an idea that you may have, and it's not really about the painting. But I like the fact that I'm trying to make stuff that will look good on a wall, but it can also be a bit of a conversation starter. Right? Levels of meaning. I'm sure if you typed it into ChatGPT, you could come up with something like that too. But it's good just to say things and come up with things and write for yourself instead of using machines to do it. Surely we don't want machines to be doing the things that we actually would like to be doing, like writing poetry and making art. We want them to do the things that we don't want them to be doing, like taxes and shit, and, boring forms. Not the fun things like this, or riding a bike. Imagine if you got a fucking machine to ride a bike, if you just go ride a bike. Life is for living. Right, I've had enough of this. Bet you have too. This is a load of bloody bollocks, isn't it? But it's also not. Right. Right. Get riled up. Get to making stuff that you want to make. Get to helping people that need it if you can, if you've got the time, if you can see them. Just say hi. Just say hello. Just say no, I haven't. Sorry. Instead of just walking past them like they don't exist, because that could easily be me or you, couldn't it? That could easily be me or you. You never know. Especially if you rely on other people too heavily. Which you should practice not relying on other people too heavily and try to become more self-sufficient, self-resilient. Trying to be able to provide for yourself a little bit. To invest, to save. So that you're right when things may go awry. So that you don't end up like them. But you still might. You never know. So treat people with respect and treat people how you want to be treated. Even if they're a dickhead. Why are they a dickhead? Why are they a dickhead? Why are they a fucking dickhead, mate? Maybe they've just gone through something. Or maybe they are just a dickhead permanently because they're fucking daft. I didn't realise, chat, that they've got to be nice. Yeah. Okay. Bye.